Welcome back. This is part 3 of this playthrough of Ace Attorney Investigations Miles Edgeworth. See, I got the title right this time. And we're on episode 3, and this is the kidnap turnabout. We're just about to get started on that third case of the game. So, let's go. Yeah, if my internet will act properly. Yeah, I'm losing a lot of frames there. Hopefully that'll fix itself in time. That might be a Twitch-related issue. I'll be right back. I'll try to pick a different server maybe, or... Well, that seems to be stable now. I wasn't paying attention to what it was saying here now. Hold on. I'll restart the game. Yeah, if the stream is now stable, I will leave things be the way they are. But I couldn't read because I was paying attention to how many frames I was dropping. In those few seconds, I lost, like, over 1,000 frames. So yeah, there is a lot of footage that didn't go through. Well, okay, we'll see. Let's go. It's time. Don't worry, Mr. Edgeworth. I'll be following your every movement with my binoculars. Is it binoculars or binoculars? Good to hear. Now make sure you don't lose sight of me. I'm counting on you for backup. You can count on me, sir. I have to go. The kidnapper is supposed to contact me soon. Who would have thought that upon my return, I'd be thrust into a kidnapping case? And that I would be the one who would have to make the ransom drop-off. Let's see, I checked that the money is all there safe inside the suitcase. Okay, now I am free to... I'm free to scroll the text as I please. Now all I have to do is wait further instructions from the kidnapper, which I'm expecting to be transferred to my cell phone. I wonder who else is around. This is the meeting place, after all. Gatewater Hotel. Gatewater Land. Oh, thank you. And a big hello to you. I'm the Proto Badger. Nice to meet you. Photo rally? Excuse me, but were you perhaps thinking of taking a picture of me? Picture of you? Sorry, but I'm not interested. Oh, that's too bad. Well, have a good day. Hello? Who are you? You're not Ernest Armano. Sounds like the kidnapper is using some sort of voice alteration device. I'm his representative, Miles Edgeworth. Are you a cop? No, I'm a prosecutor. He might not like it too much. I know what you're wondering, and yes, I have brought the ransom money with me. I see. In that case, bring the money with you to the stadium. So this person intends to see if I'm being followed, huh? Please, Detective Gumshoe. I really need you to come through for me this one time. Why ask for the ransom to be delivered in the park that has the police mascot for the mascot of the park? Edgeworth speaking. Next, come to the haunted house. And just how long do you intend to have me wander around for? That's for me to decide. You don't have much of a choice here, my friend. I suppose not. Stop dropping frames, stream, please. I would appreciate it. I've arrived. Go inside. What a dismal place. That's it. Go through those doors. Am I being watched from somewhere? Leave the money and go now. I was hoping for an exchange, but maybe I should do as they say for now and not push it. I couldn't catch even a glimpse of the kidnapper. Perhaps I should keep an eye on this haunted house until police backup arrives. He didn't even hear it arrive. Ah, it was a trap! Am I the one kidnapped? That guy betrayed. No, can't be. And the deal. Who is that? And what are they talking about? Split. Police. Alright. In front of. Beat up. I can't move my body. I fear I may faint again. Where am I? How long was I out? It wasn't raining like it is now when I made the drop-off. This was supposed to be a simple affair. So why have I been taken hostage as well? I can only assume Detective Gumshoe lost sight of me at some point. The only reason I agreed to be the drop-off man was because of that phone call. It was from Mr. Ernest Amano, the director of the powerful Zaibatsu, the Amano group. But aside from that, I also owe him a great debt of gratitude. His only son, Lance, had been kidnapped. I know that Lance is already in his 20s, but I guess some things you never grow out of. I can't sit around waiting for someone to come help me. I must escape somehow. Yo! Hahaha, was that you making that funny sound? Who's there? And how dare you laugh at the gentleman's plight? Huh? Who are you? Are you one of the kidnappers? A kidnapper? Me? No way! I'm not into such petty crimes. Nope, I'm after something much, much bigger. Ah, I must be worn out from today's ordeal. Focus, Miles. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. Sorry about that. Ahem. Even in the depth of night, when no other bird dares to take flight, one alone soars to shine the light of righteousness on the world's blight. And that one is me, for I am the great thief, Yatakarasu. Great thief? And did you really just claim to be the Yatakarasu? Oh, but my real name is K. Faraday. You can call me KK. Good. Glad that's settled. Not quite. I have a mountain of questions for you. But first, if you would be so kind as to remove these ropes. I wonder, should I remove them? I was actually having a lot of fun watching you make those silly faces. Hey, there's no need to get all mad and icy glary on me, you know? This rope goes through here, and there you go. What a relief. I owe you my thanks. Ah, it's okay. You can pay me back in full later. Now then, what question should I start with? Unfortunately, I can already tell nothing is going to be easy with this cheeky girl. So, you're a great thief, huh? Should I present my badge? Don't surprise me like that. I can't believe you're just shoving things in my face. I mean, aren't there more pressing things you'd rather ask little old me? She has a point. I should probably find out more about my mysterious savior first. You call yourself a great thief, yet are you really a thief at all? You doubt me? I get it. You think that a young lady like me couldn't possibly be such a big-time thief, right? That's not the part I have a tough time believing. I am the real genuine Yatakarasu, you know? Yup, I'm a pure-blooded great thief. It's a little something I inherited from my predecessor. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I arrested you then, right? What? Of course I'd mind. I haven't stolen anything yet. Seriously, I don't know how you... I don't know how can you say such a horrible thing to your savior. Yeah, the phrasing is a little off there. That's true, technically she hasn't stolen anything in front of me. Yet. When you say you're the Yatakarasu, do you mean you are the Yatakarasu? Yep. The most righteous of the righteous, the legendary great thief. But the title was only recently succeeded to me, so I haven't had a chance to steal anything yet as the second Yatakarasu. I was not aware that thieves could pass down their titles like that. But don't worry, I've got some big plans in the works. Big plans, huh? They wouldn't happen to lead to a big arrest, would they? I knew it! There's just no reasoning with the prosecutor. I'm not the problem here. I'll have you know that the Yatakarasu has no interest in stealing penny trinkets. There's one thing and only one thing I want to steal. Only one thing? And what would that be? But that's going to have to wait until we find our way out of here. Well, at least there is one thing we agree on. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time later to learn more about you. So you never told me what your name is, Mr. Prosecutor? Ah, I guess not. I'm Miles Edgeworth. Aha, now I remember! How can you remember something I just told you? But you sure is cheery. Alright then, Mr. Edgeworth, let's get out of here. You thought it was gonna be that simple? Some thief you are. It would seem that we are locked in from the other side. What? No way! I don't hear you! La la la! Kid, you do remember where you came in from, right? It looks like that might be our only way out of this room. Whoops, slight miscalculation. That's a good height to make an entrance from, but I can't jump that height to make an exit. Stack the boxes, I don't know. Use your head. Or that head. I suppose we have no choice but to look around and see if we can find another way out. Okay then. Ah, she's not gonna tell me anything else. They're holding a Blue Badger photo rally? You didn't know? Plus, it's not just a Blue Badger, it's this whole family too. Badger photo rally. Take a picture of every member of the Badger family and receive a prize. There is only one of each for the 4 family members wandering throughout the park. Best of luck. Hi, Jeff Matt. Girl dressed pervertly attractive. Checked. Sigh. Hello. Hi, Jeff. Well, I guess she's wearing a skirt, but that's about it. Well, there's a costume head sitting over there. Why not start with a picture of that? Can't do that. That's cheating. There's only one of each badger in the park, so you have to work for it. Speaking of badgers, there was one sitting against the wall in the haunted house. Seriously? But somehow I don't think that one counts, Mr. Edgeworth. You have to take pictures of the costumed ones walking around the park. My underwear is longer than that skirt. So those are the rules of this game. How quaint. Badger photo rally data. I jotted down in my organizer. But I thought there seemed to be something on the tarp there. Looks like a phone, if anything. Isn't this my phone? It looks like it made it through the ordeal intact. If only there was a way for us to contact someone on the outside. Ah, but we do have a way, right here. Ah, there was a cell phone here this whole time. If I'm right, Detective Gumshoe should have contacted the precinct for backup by now. Miss Edgeworth, sir, are you okay? I was so worried, sir. I'm fine. I was knocked unconscious for a spell by the kidnapper, that's all. I'm sorry, sir. I'm such a failure. If only I hadn't lost sight of you. Detective, we don't have time for this. Have the police set up a perimeter right now. You don't have to worry about that, sir. I already got the boys working on that. Yep, this is Edgeworth's game, this one. There are two like this one. This is the first. But in doing that, I sorta, what's wrong, detective? Sorry to butt in, but I'm afraid you're going to have to make do with me. Who is this? Shilong Lang of Interpol. A pleasure to speak with you, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard a great deal about you. So, why exactly is an Interpol agent like yourself involved in a domestic kidnapping case? Don't sweat the details. A crime's a crime, whether it's on a local or a global scale. Besides, you're the one who's in a world of trouble. And why would you say that? Lang Zi says, the pack that runs together stays together. You catch my drift? You caused quite a ruckus by running blindly into a situation and then getting caught. You should have contacted the police from the very beginning. I'm sorry that this happened because of a lapse in judgment. However, I humbly request that you please help me out of here post-haste. Sorry, no can do. What? We're hunting the kidnapper now, and I haven't got any hands to spare. As I said, my pack moves as one. You're the one who wanted to go in alone, so good luck to you, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh, and once we do catch the kidnapper, rest assured we'll come find you, eventually. You. What's wrong? Did you get cut off? No, my phone ran out of power. No way. I don't think so. Or maybe he is, but we just don't know it yet. But they don't intend you to... If that is the case, they don't intend you to know it already at this point, I think. He sounds more like he's the one handling the kidnapping case that Edgeworth was working on. Now that Edgeworth got caught himself. It doesn't matter anyway. We should try to get out of here through our own means. Yeah, I have a name to live up to after all. If we put our heads together, we're sure to find a way out. Maybe we can use this paint to help us escape. I don't see how. Why does Kay have a key on her head? Oh, I see. She's named Kay. Yeah. She's supposed to be the successor to the greatest thief ever to have lived, or something like that. I'm not too sure because she just entered the picture in the games. She's a new character that just got introduced like a few minutes ago, so I'm not too familiar with her yet. But she's supposed to be the successor to a great art thief or something like that. Except she's not. She doesn't seem to be doing a very good job of it so far. She's your clumsy thief archetype, I guess you could say. Well, we could paint help in really giant letters. And who, pray tell, would see these giant letters? We're inside a building. Okay, then how about we light the paint on fire and send out colored smoke signals? Anyone who saw it would think some crazy arsonist was about and call the cops. Actually that may not be all that great for me, seeing as I am a thief and all. Let's try to find something other than this paint to use, shall we? Hey, there's something inside the bottom right box. A pink costume? Oh, I think it's a pink badger costume. Pink badger? You don't keep up with what's going on in the world, do you? In that case, you'd better study up on the whole badger clan with this. Proto-badger, the very first badger. Bad badger. A vile criminal with a gun. Blue badger, an ally of justice who keeps the peace. Pink badger, note her unique pink bow. And you would die from lack of clean air, yeah. Yeah. Think of it as a bible of all the things you'll ever need to know about the clan. Whatever, I suppose I can keep it as a reference guide or something. I suppose this means that this is where they keep all the costumes. It certainly looks that way. It's like the Badger family's home. There are 8 boxes, but 7 of them are empty. Which means that 7 of the costumes are in use right now. It seems that the costumes of the Badger family are kept in the isolation room. Yeah, but they did say that there's only one of each ever walking about in the park. So that means there's 3 fakes. Use the key on her head to open the door. That's an idea. But aren't these badgers the mascots of the police force? Well, I heard that the police had a hand in sponsoring this theme park. Probably because the Gatewater group hosed the police from all those cases they solved. They have all the power of the state and they used it to make a theme park. It's not just any theme park, they have a handcuff-shaped double-looping roller coaster. That's quite enough. I'm feeling woozy from just the thought of such a thing. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Yeah, that's what he does before, Hey, there's a key there. Speaking of keys. And what have we here? Ah! Why do I feel a laser-like stare aimed right at me? Did you want to take a look? Well, don't mind if I do. Oh, I see. Yes, this is definitely a key. I'm sure it's a key to something. I may be able to open something somewhere in this room with this key. Well, I'm going to guess that it doesn't go to the door, but it probably opens one of those lockers, though. The something is what is relevant to my interests. Look, it's the Blue Badger. I suppose even this thing can be popular with women. I can't stand him. What in the... Why is she suddenly beating up the Blue Badger's image up? He's got the word badge right in his name. How bad is that for a girl like me? And to think he's out there wandering around in this park. I'd better be careful or he's going to arrest me by the power of his name alone. I somehow doubt that the Blue Badger has the power to arrest anyone. So this is the Blue Badger's rival, the Bat Badger, huh? Do you feel some sort of reverence towards this Badger, Kay? Huh, I can't believe you would be so stereotypical when it comes to thieves. Surely you must also think there are much cooler and cuter ones out there, right? That's it, I've decided that thieves and thievery need an image makeover. Good luck with that one. This is that Blue Badger I met at the main gate. Excuse me, but his name is Proto Badger, not Blue Badger. It's based off the very first design created by the local police chief. You know, when you compare the two, the Blue Badger looks a bit cuter. I suppose as he continued to redesign him, the chief managed to make him cuter and cuter. Even humanity has come a long way when you think about how much we've evolved. Are we comparing the Blue Badger to humans now? I suppose this is the Pink Badger, but since it has the same design, doesn't it seem forced to call this one a female? You think so? I mean, just look at how long her eyelashes are. That's the only difference. And the fact that she's pink. Yes, and her lips are red. See? Lipstick. What, she has nothing to say about the giant pink ribbon, or is that too obvious? I suppose it's... Oh, okay, well, the descriptions are probably going to be the same for the rest. Okay, then. Man, why did they have to put the windows so high up anyway? How is a thief supposed to make her daring escape? I suppose we could make our way out if we were able to climb on top of these lockers. Aha, that's pretty clever. You'd make a good thief yet, Mr. Edgeworth. The Pink Badger is disgusting. Why? Please, don't ever place my name and the word thief in the same sentence again. Let's see, I wonder if I can jump and grab the top of the locker here. Yeah, some thief she is. Man, why did they have to make such ginormous lockers anyway? Even if we wanted to use these lockers, we'd need some sort of foothold. Like the top of a door, maybe. Can I use the tiny key with the lockers? No. Ah, no, okay. Like, boxes? Yeah, I said that earlier, yeah. They have a whole bunch of boxes that they could stack up, I guess. I can't see a clear connection between these two pieces of information. Ah, well, that's not it, I guess. That's the same. Like, all the things in this room. Oh, shit. Yeah. This is the beam I was tied to. What's up? I was pondering if perhaps we could make it over to and out the window if we climb this. Good thinking. And if it's climbing action you need, just leave it to me. Thanks. This little hook looks like it might make for a good foothold. Up you go, Kay, and good luck. Count on it. The great thief Yatakarasu spreads her mighty wings and takes to the skies. Here I go! And she fell. As I thought, this beam was definitely not made for climbing. There is a hook on this beam, but it's not enough of a foothold to climb out with. Well, let's look at the door. I don't suppose it would be this obvious that the key would go to the door, but I haven't tried yet, so I guess I am supposed to try. What do you mean, as I thought? I thought you were a guinea pig, you know? Yeah. It seems that we won't be able to open this by ourselves. It also seems quite thick, so we can't just break it down. There must be another way out of here. Where did they put the key? So cute. Who? Edgeworth? Yeah, it's the same thing again. Ah, yeah, okay. When he folds his arms. I feel like I've tried everything already. Wait, that head. Do I have to use this somehow? When he folds his arms, yeah. What is this? Looks like the Bat Badger, and it's looking as bad as ever. Looks like a costume head to me. I guess the Bat Badger's costume is, at the very least, a two-piece, huh? The real question is, why is only the head sitting out here on the floor? Bat Badger's head data, jot it down in my organizer. Ah, stop dropping frames, stream, please. I would appreciate it. Maybe I should keep checking the boxes, I suppose. Hold on. Well, can't I pick it up? Ah, my internet connection is just crappy today. Maybe I should try to... footholds? Like so? The pieces don't fit together quite right. Ah, come on! It's not obvious to me. Damn it! Damn it. Nah, come on. But I've just been through that. I can't climb this thing. I suppose we'll just have to find another way to escape. Yeah, okay. I was thinking of looking under the tarp, but it's not really letting me right now. She's gonna try jumping again. I wish she wouldn't do that. Ah! Shoot. Wait, can I talk to her? Oh, there's something else I can talk to her about. Do you know where the person who kidnapped me went? Well, after they locked you up in here, it sounded like they went into the next room and started talking to someone. I feel like I heard something as well, but it's all a haze in my mind. However, I do recall that the kidnapper was talking with someone. It was just a guess before, but I guess I really am dealing with two kidnappers here. After that, they left. It almost seemed as if they were done with you. I suppose that is the case, as my kidnapping seems like an afterthought to the $100 million. To the $1 million, sorry. Well, if they went into the next room, let's see what we can find out through the slots. Oh, we can peer into the room the kidnappers were in from there. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking granny. Is that what I think it is? It looks like the kidnappers had an escape tunnel prepared just in case. That's awesome! They're like a bunch of great thieves themselves! No, they're not, because I highly doubt they made the tunnel themselves. The floor panel was removed and propped up against the beam in a very specific way. I think this building was originally built with a basement or underground area. Wait, maybe that's what it is. That thing that we saw on the beam was meant to prop up a trapdoor like that, but in the room that we're in, so under the tarp, the way I thought. Just like I thought, I mean. There's a door on the opposite side that appears to be the same as this one, which would mean that I can probably assume that these two rooms are very similar in structure. I believe I may have just found our ticket out. Hold on, maybe I can use logic to connect these two IDs together now. Ah, there we go. This hook on this beam. You know I already tried, and there is no way I can jump from this hook to the window. Come on, even you have to admit when something's just not possible. Ha, I wasn't about to suggest that again, rather that it's here for a different purpose. Really? Like what? As you saw in the adjacent room, it's clearly for keeping up a floor panel propped up, which means that there should be a panel in this room that we can open as well. Oh, I get it. We didn't notice its existence all this time because it was being hidden by this tarp. Alright then, let's fold this thing up and see what's underneath. Yeah, I figured. Now, this is what I call a treasure. That freaking internet connection, I hate the problems that I keep getting. Wow, this must be another entrance to the secret hidden basement. I totally smell treasure. The scent I wish to smell is the sweet fragrance of freedom. Then what are you waiting for? Hurry up and open the hatch. Alright. This thing is locked down tight. The key. Oh, fiddlesticks. My stream keeps dropping frames, and I really hate that. If we can get to the top, then we can escape. If only there were some footholds. No, the tiny key in the underground entrance. We can at least try. I believe you're up, Kay. Huh? Why me? Because we need to use the tiny key that you've taken quite a liking to. Oh, gotcha. Just leave it to me. I love the tense feeling of these moments when you're about to uncover something big. I believe the feeling of freedom would be much more satisfying right about now. Alright, I got the secret door open, and now... Ah, wait! What? Ah! Are you alright, Kay? I'm fine, the ladder just slipped is all. Thank goodness she's alright. I about had a coronary. There's a lot of really large machinery down here. What about an exit? It's really dark and cramped down there, so I really doubt there's an exit. Ah, I can't believe that happened. You have only yourself to blame for leaping before you looked, you know. No way, I mean, how was I supposed to know that the ladder is removable? It looks as though it can be easily removed, but is it really safe to use? Use the ladder to get out the window. I figured out how we will escape this prison, Kay. Oh, so how are we going to bust out? It seems that your reckless actions were of use after all. Are you actually praising me? More of a thank you for giving me an idea regarding this ladder. The underground ladder? What about it? This ladder isn't just for those who wish to go down. Oh, I see. If we use this... Yes, I believe it's long enough to reach the top of those lockers. Well then, what are we waiting for? Okay, there we go. That's better. Alright, now we can get out of here. Yes, we spent entirely too much time in here. Kidnappers who held me hostage, and a mysterious Interpol agent. This case is only getting started, and I'll be the one to bring it to a resounding end. Wild, Wild West area. Looks like it stopped raining right for now. Yeah, and thank goodness. You have no idea how hard it was raining earlier. Mr. Edgeworth. I'm so glad to see you managed to escape, sir. I was so stressed that I thought my heart was gonna give out. Detective Gumshoe, may I ask what in the world that is? Well, that's, There's one of them that looks different. Maybe he's important? MIB? Man in Black? Count off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 98, 99. Shifu, all 99 members are here and accounted for, sir. Oh, Shifu, yeah, I guess, yeah, the master, the Shifu is the guy who was on the phone with me earlier. What was his name again? Chinese sounding name. Hey, what the heck do you think you're doing counting my cubs off like that? Every person is a valuable human being, you get me? And everyone has a name that their parents gave to them. No one is a 2 or a 3. Everyone, regardless of age or rank, is number 1. Got it? Shifu! Shifu! You are Agent Lang, I take it? You infidel! How dare you address our Shifu so rudely? Langxi says, a cub who disrespects others soon feels the disciplinary bite of an elder. So don't you ever forget to show the proper respect towards another person. Sheena. This isn't much, but please accept my card. Oh, thank you. Please accept mine in return. They're presenting them the Japanese way. You all see that just now? That is the proper way for two people to show their respect. Keep that in mind and you'll get far in life. Got it? Ah, that's right. Francisca did warn me. Something about an elite Interpol agent from the Republic of Zengfa. Apparently this man has the highest successful arrest rate in the organization. Agent Lang, why exactly is an Interpol agent involved with this clearly domestic case? That's none of your business, Mr. Prosecutor. How is it not? I've heard a rumor or two about you. You solved a murder that occurred during your flight home recently, right? Ha! But you sure took a while just to arrest one little flight attendant. How pathetic. How dare you say that about Mr. Edgeworth? Are you saying you could have solved it faster, pal? The comedic relief jumps to the aid of his master. How cliché. Look, what I'm getting at is that if I had been there, no one would have died. I would have solved the entire case and Agent Hicks would still be with us here today. Yeah, it would have solved the case before there had even been a case. Agent Lang knew yesterday's victim, Agent Agby Hicks. Hicks was like a brother to me, so now I'm out to take my revenge. Agent Hicks was investigating a smuggling ring with Francisca and a third person. This must be the man she was talking about. In that case, you should understand how I feel, as the kidnapped is someone I know. So I ask that you please allow me to participate in the investigation. Not so fast. This isn't your neatly trimmed courtroom of Eden, you know? You're out in the wilderness now, Mr. Prosecutor, and way out of your league. No hard feelings, but why don't you go on back to your courtroom now, pretty boy? You dare to mock the court? I do, and I don't need the help of a filthy prosecutor. Sorry, but the truth doesn't need the likes of you to distort it today. Who uses the adjective filthy to describe a prosecutor? And why? Why do I feel such intense loathing emanating from him? Alright, man. Good job on the perimeter around Gatewater Land. Now, just find me the kidnapper and bring the punk to me. Dismissed. Sir! Now then, Mr. Prosecutor, you just sit tight here and don't cause any trouble, understand? Wait! Mr. Edgeworth, it's been a while since I last met someone so disagreeable. Why of all places did he show up here, and completely out of the blue at that? I suppose I'll have to ask Detective Gumshoe to fill me in on that. Man, I can't calmly do any stealing at all with that detective around. I suppose it's not easy when there's this many members of law enforcement in the vicinity. It's alright, it's not like I'm in a hurry to steal just any old thing. Which is it? Do you plan to steal something or not? Quite the mystery, this one. Maybe I should talk with her a bit more. Yeah, what is she planning to do next? So, what are you going to do about your investigation into the kidnapping? Good question. Since Agent Lang holds the authority to investigate this case now, this makes things a bit more complicated. Oh, come on, you can't let that stop you. I'll even lend you a hand. So let's go. But you're a self-purported great thief, are you not? I don't believe I can let someone of an unlawful nature participate in an investigation. You don't like to listen, do you? I'm not just any ordinary great thief, I'm the Yatagarasu. And as I said earlier, the Yatagarasu is after one and only one thing. One and only one? What is this one and only one thing you're after? The Yatagarasu is only interested in one thing, and that is the truth. I see. It was 7 years ago. There was a vigilante who threw the business world into a panic. Labeled mysterious and phantom-like, the Yatagarasu appeared and vanished at will. Though we still don't know much about this thief's ultimate goal, we do know the targets. The Yatagarasu liked to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings. I was not an art thief, unlike what I said earlier, yeah. Okay, well, fair enough. That was my mistake. I think I've got him confused with Mask the Mask from the previous game, actually. I got the two IDs mixed up somehow. I don't know what it is, but I still feel drowsy, even though I had a really good night's sleep. Okay, the Yatagarasu liked to find and make public evidence of corrupt dealings of all sorts. Once a target was chosen, no dramatic calling card or announcement was sent forth. Instead, the chosen corporation was infiltrated without even the target noticing. Some days later, the evidence that was found was sent out to the mass media, along with a card with the mark of a three-legged raven. Looking back, I suppose you could call what the Yatagarasu was stealing the truth. Could this child really be the successor to the original Yatagarasu? But that can't be, can it? Okay, well, I was supposed to talk to Gumshoe. Great job, detective. Sir, for losing sight of me and the kidnapper and allowing my investigation to be hijacked. Sir, I look forward to your next month's salary assessment. But the case isn't lost yet, sir. I'm gonna show you just how much of a man Dick Gumshoe can be. Shall I prepare the 21-gun salute an hour later? Detective, are you sure it was the precinct who called for backup? Of course, sir. I think I would know the number to my own precinct like the back of my hand. Then why did an Interpol agent show up instead with an army of his own agents? That, I have no idea. About 5 minutes after I made the call, that wolf woman showed up out of nowhere, sir. Wolfman, sorry. Agent Lang definitely has an agenda, so the question is, what is he after? Next step. Mr. Edgeworth, I was wondering if I may ask about one thing, sir. Yes, what is it? Who is that? The girl over there, I mean. I'm Mr. Edgeworth's assistant, Kay Faraday. What? Funny, I don't recall making you my assistant, Kay. Yeah, I'm Mr. Edgeworth's assistant. Me, it's been like that since forever. Sorry, but I just stole your supporting role. How can you say something so serious with that giant grin on your face, pal? Mr. Edgeworth, we've got a thief on our hands, sir. She stole my role, sir. I'm taking her in, getting her convicted, and making sure she serves out her sentence. Aw, come on, it'll be fun, like musical chairs. You'd better stay fast on your feet. No way, I won't. I will not lose the spotlight to you, little girl. Lance! Lance! Where are you, son? Uh-oh. Panda boys! Mr. Amano. Oh, Miles, my boy, I'm sorry to involve you in such an affair just after you've returned. For you, Mr. Amano, I glad hear from our assistance. After all, I have you to thank for how well things turned out during my time abroad. If it wasn't for you, I might not have been introduced to that law office, and had the chance to study the inner workings of another country's judicial system. No. Those ears, yeah, they're a bit weird. I agree. Think nothing of it. As you know, Manfred and I go way back. I consider a beloved disciple of his to be like one of my own blood. If you ever want to go overseas again, you need only to ask. I can use my company's vast network to send you anywhere at any time. So who's the old man? Dude! Outsider life. Hi there. He is the father of the currently kidnapped Lance Amano, Ernest Amano. Now then, have you found Lance yet, Miles? Do you have the second Miles Investigations game? Yep. I will not be playing it right after this one, but I do plan to stream that one as well in the future. Yep. Please, I miss my poor boy dearly. I'm terribly sorry, but your son's whereabouts remain unknown, Mr. Amano. Hold on there. Then, what happened to all that money? I believe the $1 million has been stolen, and that the culprits are now on the run. What? Poor old man. Don't you have anything you could give him to cheer him up, Mr. Edgeworth? Forgive me, Mr. Amano. I was wondering if you could please tell me the details of the kidnapping one more time. Oh, it was yesterday. A call came to the house. From the receiver came the sound of my son. Help me, Daddy! I know this is tough, but please stay with me here, Mr. Amano. You don't understand. He hasn't called me Daddy in ages. It was incredibly moving. I wish I had recorded him saying that. He definitely should have recorded that conversation, but not for the foolish sentimentalities. Sentimentalities of an old man. Yeah, I read that right. Refresh my memory. What kind of person is Lance again? How will telling you about Lance help you get him back? Surprisingly, a lot can be deduced from a person's relationships and behavior. Very well then, Lance is my one and only son, and he turned 21 this year. He is very much like me when I was his age. kind and very attractive. I'm sure women simply can't keep their hands off of him. Yeah, right. I guess women can't resist those ears of yours. Is there anything else about him you noticed of late? Now that you mention it, I haven't been able to get in contact with our butler, Oliver. Your butler? Yes, his name is Oliver Deacon. He's been with our family for years now. He gets along so well with Lance, so I thought maybe he would know where my son is. Mr. Romano, could you please tell me a little more about your butler, Mr. Deacon? As a butler, he's outstanding. He even serves as Lance's personal private tutor. He took a brief leave recently, but even after it was over, I haven't been able to reach him. So you still haven't spoken with him since his leave? What about his family and friends? They said they hadn't seen him. I've tried everything I could think of, Miles. Do you think this could have something to do with Lance's kidnapping? It's possible, but I can't say anything for sure quite yet. So even the person closest to the victim has gone missing. Oliver Deacon. Sounds like one name I had better keep in mind. Detective Gumshoe! Yes, sir! Let's begin our investigation. Even if that Interpol agent holds the authority to head this investigation, we can't allow ourselves to stand idly by, twiddling our thumbs. I'm with you 100%, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. I, Dick Gumshoe, pledge to stick by your side through thick and thin. Mr. Romano, it was my fault that the culprits escaped, which is why, with your blessing, I vowed to return Lance to you myself. Oh, I've never seen you so passionate before, Miles. Good luck to you, my boy. Alright, well, what are you waiting for? Let's do some investigating. If you think I'm losing to you, pal, forget it. Why is she even tagging along? I don't get this, but I guess this will be revealed later. So, what should we examine first? Thanks to Agent Lang, we can't leave this area, but the culprits were here until only very recently, which means we may be able to find some clues that will tell us how they escaped. Okay, let's get looking. Hey, you there! Who, me? What are you doing goofing off in a place like this? I wasn't goofing off, I was about to help Mr. Edgeworth kick off his investigation. We're supposed to keep a low profile, Dick. You're such a dick. You imbecile. All precinct detectives are now under Agent Lang's direct command. No way! I am not working for Wolfboy! Mr. Edgeworth, can't you do something? What do you want him to do? I'm not exactly in a position to argue, seeing as how you are a member of the police. Good, now let's go. Who's that other guy, by the way? He has his pride different from all the other policemen. Boy, have I got just a job for someone of your talents. Well, that was exciting. Okay. What? Can't you tell I'm all ready to get down to some detective work? You should go home. Your parents must be worried about you. Oh, come on. I finally get to be your assistant and you try to ditch me? I don't recall offering you the position. Why do you have to be so difficult? Besides, it's already too late, you know? Like I said, I've already stolen the position of assistant a while back. Ha, you're the only one asserting that. Well, by the time anyone notices, it's already gone. That's the Yatagarasu way. You shouldn't speak so lightly of things you know nothing about. Fine, whatever. You win. Go ahead and do your little investigation. But the talented assistant Kay is going to tag along no matter what you say. Even if she turns out to be useless, she's not going to listen to me. I might as well surrender and let her come along for the ride. Okay. Yes? Okay, what do you think about the kidnapping? Well, I don't know anything about the victim, so actually I was hoping you could tell me. Ah, that's right, I never did explain the situation to you. I got involved because of a phone call I received. It was from none other than the director of the Amano Group, Mr. Ernest Amano. His only son, Lance, had been kidnapped and he wanted me to be the drop-off man. Little did I suspect that I would be abducted myself. And that's when I found you tied to a pole screaming, "No!" Can you please drop that already? Let's use logic, I suppose. Oh, I can't. Okay. Let's keep searching then, I suppose. It's a set of tire tracks originating from the garage. Aha! So that means a car left from the garage at some time, right? Correct, but for the car to leave these tracks, it would mean that it left during the passing rain. That's the only explanation as to why these tracks are made of mud. 3 threads. I think we can also safely assume it's a special type of car. Can I talk to that guy? Excuse me, but if you could just let me through here. Sorry, I can't let anyone through. Agent Lang's orders. I suppose I'll have to deal with this impasse for now. Hey, it's the Blue Badger! Badger, get! I really don't understand why she is so excited over this badger hunt. Speaking of badgers, there's a person inside of there. Mr. Badger, I wonder if you might share with me what you saw. He's doing that contorted wriggling dance again. Aha! What? I know that face. Ah, you've uncovered my undercover identity, sir. I was to remain under that head, sir. Aren't you Officer Meekins? Sir! Mike Meekins reporting for duty, sir. This man was a witness in one of the cases I headed 2 years ago. About the only thing I remember about this officer is that he often spoke and acted before he thought, which gave me a great deal of headaches. Is he a friend of yours, Mr. Edgeworth? I've met him in the courtroom once before. Why was he so upset when we unmasked him? Does he have something to hide? Officer Meekins, why are you standing here wasting time? Sir, because I'm not a police officer right now, sir. I'm the Blue Badger. And I'm creating memories and dreams for the kids. That's never a waste of time, sir. I have a dream to become as big as Detective Gumshoe, sir. I was patrolling the scorchingly boring beat until a little while ago, when the dispatch radio on my shoulder crackled that the kidnappers had escaped, sir. I thought maybe this was my shot at making detective, sir. I rushed on over to join in, but when I got here, there was a sea of people already. And I couldn't spread my trademark friendliness and joy onto anyone. It would seem that some people never change. So, why exactly are you in that ridiculous outfit? Sir, that's because, sir, I'm here to keep the visitors in good spirits, sir. But it's also to hide the fact that I'm an officer on the trail of a kidnapper, sir. I see. Agent Lang is very wise to employ this sort of diversionary tactics. To be handed the role of the Blue Badger out of all the different disguises, sir, it's such an honor. Any clues? At all? How long have you been standing here, officer? Sir, for about 1 little hour, sir. That's around the time I woke up from being knocked unconscious. And I've been here ever since, sir. If that's true, then it's possible Officer Meekins saw the kidnappers escaping. But however, sir, I must tell you I didn't see a thing, sir. I haven't asked you anything yet, officer. No. But I know you will, sir. He's hiding something from me. Officer Meekins, I insist that you tell me more about your recent movements. Sir, I've been playing the Blue Badger this whole time, sir, and getting into it too. I patrolled the park all while wearing this costume. And about 1 hour ago, I came over here, sir. I haven't seen any suspicious-looking people this whole time, sir. But I did see a badger, sir. A lone Blue Badger. What you said just now is contradictory to the facts. How so, Mr. Edgeworth? This is what Officer Meekins' testimony contradicts. The fact that in the hunt for those badger photos, there's only one of each in the park at any time. Yeah, there we go.
Take that.
Officer Meekins, let's back things up. I'd like to ask you about your last statement. Sir, of course, sir. If that's your wish, Mr. Prosecutor. This little patrolman will wait as long as I am commanded to wait. You said that you saw a Blue Badger, correct? And yet, if you take a look at this, what you saw was not supposed to happen. This park is supposed to have only one of each badger in it at any given time. Which means that as long as you are the Blue Badger, Officer Meekins, you should not have seen another Blue Badger wandering the premises. What, sir? Then that would mean that there are 2 Blue Badgers walking around, but why? There's only supposed to be 1 Blue Badger in the park, but a second one was spotted. Those 2 ideas seem to go together, if you ask me. A second Blue Badger that shouldn't exist. Clearly the true identity of the person underneath is... Oh, I know, it's one of the kidnappers, right? The person who wore a costume to get away. Precisely. After all, the costumes that went missing from the storage area are a Blue Badger, a Proto Badger, and a Bat Badger. Yes, those 3. So there are 3 phony badgers running around in the park somewhere, huh? Stolen costume data jotted down in my organizer. Okay. Footprints! Hey, there's a bunch of footprints in the mud over here. I remember hearing rainfall out here while I was being held in there. Yup, it was just a passing rain. That's why the ground has already pretty much dried up. I should be thankful. It left us with some nice footprint samples. You know what? I bet if we followed them, we can find out where the kidnappers went. Plus, we'd be able to spot them because of their muddy shoes. I don't think it will be that easy. Why not? Look carefully. There are quite a few different sets here. And we don't know which ones belong to the kidnappers. Oh, that's true. We don't know what kind of shoes they were wearing. If only we knew, we'd be able to track the kidnappers from the footprints. Ah, I've got you now, you vile criminals. I think the kidnappers would have better sense than to try hiding in these. Oh, come on, lighten up, will ya? I was only joking. I don't really think that the criminals would be hiding here right in front of 2 officers. I certainly hope not. Excuse me, but if you could just let me through here? Sorry, I can't let anyone through. Agent Lang's orders. I suppose I'll have to deal with this impasse for now. Excuse me, but if you could just let me through here? Yeah, okay. Same line of dialogue. Horses are painted on this garage door to complete the Wild West theme. They look so lifelike, don't you think? Are you thinking of wrangling or rather stealing them? If you can coax them out of there, sure, come on. I know you can sweet talk them out. I could be holding the cube of sugar in my hand and they wouldn't budge, Kay. Or maybe I should save my progress up to this point. Cactus? Look, there's a blurb about the cactus here. This cactus is a very gracious gift to Gatewater Land from the local police precinct. I can't believe the police went so far as to even donate a cactus to this place. So, is the police department running a cactus farm on the side? Haha, just kidding. They wouldn't do something so silly. Actually, I have the vague impression I've seen a cactus farm at the precinct before. Yeah, but wasn't that from that police officer who kept swigging whiskey from his flask at the end of the first game? In that bonus case. The one with Emma Sky. Actually, I think he did. I think in his office he had a little collection of cacti growing out of pots or something like that. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, isn't this one of those things you tie horses to? Yes, although the horses are in another location at the moment. Oh, and here I was hoping I would get to ride one. You know how to ride a horse? Nope, never rode one in my life. But I have an Asian friend who was born in the year of the horse. Non sequitur is the only way to describe your logic. Well, if the shoes are part of the costume, these two things would be going together. Now that we know that the kidnappers were wearing badger costumes, those footprints from earlier take on a new and very significant meaning. Oh, you mean now we know which tracks belong to the kidnappers, right? Yes, more than shoe prints, we need to follow the paw prints of badgers. Okay, Mr. Edgeworth, it's time to use those footprints and go badger hunting. Okay, well, I got nothing left in logic. So we're looking for footprints made by a costume. Hey, I think I found them. There are two sets here. They both do look like possible candidates. This set is walking off to the west. Alright, it just stops. I can't make heads or tails of where it's headed from here. I think we can assume it's headed towards the stadium. I wonder where the other set leads. This one seems to be headed east. Huh? Quick, Mr. Edgeworth, I've got him! I got one of the culprits! No, I'm not a kidnapper, sir! Somehow I doubt that too. Down, Kate. Clearly, those footprints belong to Officer Meekins, but our criminals were each wearing a costume. Aha! Maybe they came over to this garage for something. That's what I would suppose. Officer Meekins, if you could step aside for a moment. We need to examine the garage. Sir! Roger Wilco, sir! Let's open the shutter and see what we find. Maybe we'll find the kidnappers hiding inside. Ah! What in the... We seem to have stumbled across a dead body. She must be in severe shock to have been the first to find it. Now then, who is this man? It's Oliver! Mr. Romano, are you saying that this man is your butler? Yes, he's my butler, yeah, okay. How could something like this have happened? Indeed, why was Mr. Deacon here to begin with? Ah, yeah, Oliver Deacon, yeah. I'd better investigate this crime scene quickly before Agent Lange or his men return. The kidnapper's footprints lead right to this garage, and right to a dead body. Is it possible one of the kidnappers is now a murder victim? Following the kidnapper's prints led us to a body. What was the victim in the costume? From my cursory examination, I believe this man died of a fatal bullet wound. Preliminary findings data jotted down in my organizer. You sure are calm for someone who just found a body. It's surprising what one can become accustomed to in the span of 2 days. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. As long as that Interpol agent has control of this case, I'm not going to be able to have a real autopsy done on the victim. I'm no doctor, but let's see what I can piece together myself. There are 2 gunshot wounds, one in his abdomen and one in his shoulder. So that means he was shot twice. No, I don't think so. I think the abdominal one is an entry wound and the one near his shoulder is the exit wound. That's a weird angle to be shot from. He might have been... Yeah, that's a really weird angle. I'd say unless he was maybe hiding under a car or something, and then he got shot from that kind of nearly horizontal angle. I think the abdominal one is an interwound. Yeah, right, okay. Nice, I knew you could figure it out. It comes with experience, and I've seen my share of crime scenes. Speaking of experience, this crime scene seems a bit too clean for a murder where the bullet went clean through. I should make a note of this oddity. This is an unusually shaped pendant. What is it? Is it something valuable? She seems to have regained some of her composure. It looks like a horse pendant. It's got an antique feel about it, and it's rather really pretty. Hold on, this is made of platinum silver. Nice. It is worth something after all. Oh, and look, there's something written on the back. Colin de Voray. It's a name. Colin de Voray. But this man's name is... It's not what the thing says. Well, that seems to be everything. Unless... Hold on. Victim Deacon shot from ABD through shoulder. Abdomen, I guess it means. Touch the check button for details. Oliver Deacon, pending autopsy. Preliminary findings indicate loss of blood resulting from a gunshot wound. Entry point lower right abdomen. Exit point right shoulder. Despite the fact that the fatal bullet went clean through the body, there is very little blood at the site where the body was found. I feel like there is something to deduce from this, but I haven't found I probably haven't found the piece of evidence that I need for this. What a peculiar car. Yeah, from the look of it, it must be the Blue Badger Mobile. And it has 3 tires, so maybe it left those tire tracks behind. Ah, that's simply not possible. Huh? Why? Take a look at the tires. There's no mud stuck to them. Therefore, it must have been here since before it started to rain. Oh, gotcha. Good eye. It's a shame I don't see any other clues around. Ah, I'm cold. Sir, I'm undercover as the Blue Badger now, sir. I must pretend to not know anything about anything, sir. I mustn't respond to that. It would be like shooting fish in a barrel. Oh, did you know? I really love this kind of chair. The way it rocks back and forth. When I grow old, I plan to sit in one of these and rock the day away every day. But you don't have to wait, Mr. Edgeworth. You're at just the right age for one. Do I really project myself as someone of that age? Mr. Amano, this body. Yes, that's my butler, Oliver. How could something like this have happened? Indeed, and why was Mr. Deacon here to begin with? Okay, so it seems I can't talk to him anymore about anything else. Yeah, I've already read that. Locate Waterlands pamphlet. Okay, well there's only one, so I can't match it to anything. If these were real, I wonder what you'd put in them. Water would be the obvious answer, but if you stored water in a barrel under the blazing hot sun, wouldn't it go bad? People of that period probably didn't care about how it tasted. Sorry, but I can't let you get away with making fun of our forefathers. I mean, maybe they really liked the strange taste. Look who's making fun of them now. Yeah, this is still the same dialogue. Right to the garage. Do these prints belong to the victim we found inside the garage? Is there something else I haven't noticed? There are 2 gunshot wounds. One is in his abdomen and one in his shoulder. So that means he was shot twice? No, I don't think so. I think the abdominal one is an entry wound and the one near his shoulder is the exit wound. Nice. I knew you could figure it out. It comes with experience. Yeah, well, it's something they already said. Yeah, I might have to deduce something. Yeah, I'm a bit stuck right now. Yeah, what's written on the other side, by the way? Colin Devoray. I don't have profiles. Isn't that an anagram for his name, Oliver Deacon? Hold on, shoot. I think it is. Oliver Deacon. Yeah, I think all the letters are there. I don't have to even think about it for too long to realize that. Yeah, it's all there. Okay. Can I deduce with a profile or something? Right, but if I can't do it with a... There's something not right about the name of the pendant. The victim is the Amano family butler and his name is Oliver Deacon. But the name on the pendant is Colin Devoray. I wonder what's up with that. I don't know, but I think we've hit upon an important piece of information. Mr. Deacon's pendant, I did jot it down in the organizer. And that's all I was missing. Lance! Lance! Where are you, sweetie? Ah. Excuse me, but you are? Ba-dump. Oh, this is bad. He's really good looking. Ah, stop it, Lauren. You can't let yourself fall for a playboy like him you're in love with. Sounds like someone doesn't know the meaning of the phrase inner monologue, huh? Sorry to interrupt your conversation, but might you be a friend of Lance? Yes, I'm Lance's girlfriend. My name is Lauren Popes. That's a weird name. That sounds suspiciously made up. His girlfriend? And she's wearing a lickable ring? Like a lollipop ring? Kind of thing. It's not like that. We're more like friends, and we're not lovers or anything. We haven't gotten that far yet. But I guess that's how people are going to see it, so I just should accept it. I even got this ring as a present from Lance. You know what she reminds me of? A cartoon character. May I inquire as to why you are here? I haven't been able to get in contact with Lance lately, and I began to get really worried. I looked everywhere for him, and then I heard about the kidnapping, so I came here. Wow, you're really strong for having made it through all this by yourself. Is it true? Has Lance really been kidnapped? No one is supposed to know, but yes, it's true. Oh, Lance, I can't believe you've been spirited away. I wonder how you're doing right now. Looks like she's gone back to the fair maiden love routine. So, Mr. Edgeworth, where do we go from here? Well, we found the body, so we should look into the murder. My men brought me up to speed over the radio, and I have to say, you really should have called. I heard you found something very intriguing. I have nothing to hide, Agent Lang. It's exactly what you see before you. I'll take it from here, yeah. Yeah, that guy is really dead. Hey, you waiting for an investigation? Hurry up and detain the suspect now. Suspect? Who? Officer Meekins, is it? You're coming with us. What? Sir, I had nothing to do with it, sir. Agent Lang, don't you think you're being a bit rash? Do you even have a good reason to suspect Officer Meekins? I leave that kind of stuff to you prosecutors. It's your job, after all. Like I said earlier, the crime scene isn't as forgiving as your precious courtroom. That's your answer? I know you like your logic and reasoning, but that sort of impractical fluff is not needed out here in the field. All you have to do is arrest suspicious person after suspicious person. That's how you eliminate crime from the streets. But that's also precisely how you unnecessarily arrest innocent people by mistake. Innocent people? Nonsense. There's no such thing as an innocent person. We've all got a blemish or two in our hearts. That's tyranny. I won't allow such a thing to go on unchecked before my eyes. Heh, too bad you don't call the shots around here. As I have sworn to uphold the laws of this land, I cannot allow you to take this man in. That you would arrest a man on false charges without even conducting an investigation. Have you no honor as a member of law enforcement? You, how dare you speak so disrespectfully to our Shifu? Hold it. You amuse me, Mr. Prosecutor. Longsy says, every pack has its own rules. If you can play by their rules and come out on top, that is a true victory. Alright, I'll give your beloved laws a fair shake. I'll show you just how much investigating I've done. Through my line of logic. It's that time again, I suppose. I've seen a lot of bodies like the one being carted off in my time. I can say he was shot in a single glance, but even you figured that much out, right? With your current gun laws, it's not exactly easy to get your hands on a gun, not unless you're a member of law enforcement like Officer Meekins, isn't that right? That is your reasoning? Solid as a rock. It's based on the philosophy of detainment. What's this philosophy of detainment? Hi, you don't know? In that case, pay attention, girlie. In my country, the criminals have a saying, beware of the wolf. Why the wolf? Because in my language, the lang means wolf, and you don't mess with me or my pack. And as for the detainment's philosophy, its father is my honorable ancestor Lang Si. You'd think I'd have heard of him and his teachings if he is that famous. Lang Si developed it as he worked to lock criminals away thousands of years ago. To this day, the Zhengfa police still trains its recruits using his philosophies. But thousands of years ago, that makes your story about as believable as a fairy tale. Anything wears down and breaks over time. Do you really believe something as ancient as that can be applied to today's world? You want to put it to a test? Seen a lot of bodies. Can say it was shot in a single glance. If that's the case, there are plenty of other officers who might be potential suspects. You're not seriously going to arrest each and every one of them, are you? As if I would need to. I've already looked into everyone else here. Oh. Other than Officer Meekins, I know no one else's weapon has been fired. How did you check every single person's weapon in such a short span of time? That's because each and every one of my subordinates is extremely capable. It didn't take more than a few minutes to conduct the entire investigation, the power of sheer numbers. But you have yet to check Officer Meekins' weapon, correct? Thanks for reminding me. Hey you, show me your gun. Oh. What's wrong? Why does he look so sickly pale all of a sudden? Gun! What did you say? I can't hear you. Stop mumbling and spit it out already. Sir, I lost my gun, sir! How could you be so irresponsible? In the end, it looks like you're still the only suspect we've got. You're the one who waited here outside the garage to ambush and kill the victim. So you think that Officer Meekins waited here to kill the victim, do you, Lank? I think this little accusation deserves a lot more scrutiny. I keep pressing the buttons by accident. Ambush the victim in this garage. Should I press on this one, maybe? Because he just added that to his testimony. You mean to tell me that the murder occurred here in this garage? From the fact that the suspect was found almost next to where the body was found, I'd say that it's pretty obvious that this is the crime scene. Yeah, that's some reverse thinking right there, but I don't think it stands. I mean, that's not how you investigate. Yeah, if the suspect was found near the body, then this must be where the murder occurred. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's some really flawed logic. Like he says, a criminal always returns to the scene of the crime. Hey, finally a quote even I've heard of before. Furthermore, Langsy says... this one he has to read it. Successful investigations are the result of multiple returns to a crime scene. Looks like neither detectives nor criminals have changed their ways over the millenniums. So, this is the kind of conclusion the philosophy of detainment can lead you to? I don't get it, Mr. Edgeworth. Why are you putting yourself on the line for Mr. Meekins? It's not that I particularly care about what happens to Officer Meekins. What? However, I love how shocked they looked at hearing that. However, I can't simply stand by while Agent Lang ignores our country's laws. Shilong Lang. Just what sort of investigator are you? let's see. Unfortunately for you, Agent Lang, that is simply not possible. What do you mean? You've seen the crime scene for yourself, and while you were looking, did you not think to yourself that it was a little too clean? Well, yeah, there's no blood anywhere. I mean, from such wounds, if this is where he was killed, there should be a pool of blood. Aya! So you didn't notice that there was too little blood. Do you still wish to claim that Officer Meekins committed the murder here? Because this isn't the crime scene, and if it was your men who led you to think it was, then I suggest you leave this case to the local police to set the record straight. Grrr. Not bad, I see your logic can be just as sound as mine. In that case, let me ask you this. Don't you think it's weird that officer was hanging out around here in the first place? Weird? How so? Hey you! Your squad's not even supposed to be in this area, right? What were you doing neglecting your duties and loafing around here? Don't you dare give me some lame excuse like I found myself taking a walk. But sir, I really did take a walk, sir. You're a disgrace. How dare you take your pack obligations so lightly? Officer Meekins is looking extra meek. Is he hiding something? Mr. Edgeworth, please, sir! Save me the way you did earlier, please, sir! Officer Meekins, please give us a detailed account of what happened. Sir, not you two! Okay, let's go with this testimony then. Oops, sorry. It's true, sir. I wasn't assigned to this area, sir. I was told to check every square inch of the main gate area, sir. I also went looking for the kidnappers while selling dreams in the Blue Badger mobile, sir. Huh? Selling dreams? But I got completely caught up in my role selling dreams to the children, sir. Before I knew it, I found myself here in this area, sir. Selling dreams? What does he mean by that? I need to press on that. What is this Blue Badger mobile? It's a moving store on wheels that sells sweet dreams and merchandise, sir. So the Blue Badger mobile is just a roaming souvenir shop. Okay. Sir, I swear I was chasing the kidnappers down while I was being a good dream merchant. He seems rather worked up, even more than his usual hyperactive self. He sure seems sure of what he's saying. Can you try to calm down and lower your voice to a more reasonable level, officer? Sir! Roger, sir. Meekins' testimony. Yeah, I'm most interested in the Badger mobile. Check every square inch of the main gate area, sir. Also went looking for the kidnappers while selling dreams in the Blue Badger mobile, sir. What exactly do you mean by selling dreams? Ice creams? Sir, the Blue Badger mobile is where dreams are collected. What? Sweetness like you've never known except in dreams, ma'am. Like innocence drops. And bitterness found only in nightmares, ma'am. Like guilty jawbreakers. Oh, he sells candy then. Selling those as I push the Blue Badger mobile along is my sworn duty, ma'am. Mobile shop on 3 wheels was parked inside the Wild Wild West area garage. That doesn't make sense. I mean, when he parked it inside, if he was really using it to sell stuff, when he parked it inside, he would have seen the body of the victim.
Objection!
That, I mean, it follows, right? Officer Meekins, I would appreciate it if you didn't tell such transparent lies. Sir, I'm lying, sir? Yes, you are. If you were really out there selling dreams with the Blue Badger mobile until recently, then what is it doing here inside the garage? Ah! Actually, I had just lost track, sir. Lost track of what? By the time I realized that the Blue Badger mobile was nowhere to be found, sir. Which would mean it was perhaps stolen? And that's when I came back to this area thinking maybe it was in the garage, sir. But that's when you found me, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Not so fast. A likely story. Who do you think is going to buy such a convenient tale as that? And what exactly is so convenient about this story? The car getting stolen? It's completely unbelievable, even for a cover story. But I think we can assume the car was used alright. To move the dead body... What? Oh yeah, that's not good. You killed the victim? at some distant location, Officer Meekins. And then you use the Blue Badger mobile to transport it all the way here. And now then, you're coming with me. But it wasn't me, sir! The killer, sir! It wasn't me, sir! Agent Lang, wait! What do you want now? We still don't know where the real scene of the crime is. You can't say we know all the facts of this case, let alone the truth. I told you, truth, schmooth. I couldn't care less. Our job is to catch the crook. You'll find out your precious truth after we arrest this guy and take him in. That's the job of you prosecutors in your fancy courts with your logic. As for us, we don't have that kind of time to waste. You boorish buffoon. I think you need to leave. What? We need to get the body to autopsy and you guys are getting in the way. You would interfere with another one of my investigations. Hey now, let's not forget who holds the actual authority to conduct investigations here. I'm afraid the one doing the interrupting is you, ignorant little pretty boy. Now be a good fancy boy and get out of my sight. If you don't, I'll arrest you for obstruction of justice. Now that wouldn't be good, would it? To be continued. That was quite long, that one. Gatewaterland main gate. Chased out like a pair of peasants. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Kay? There's something even thieves should never steal. Do you know what that is? You really shouldn't steal anything, however, I'll bite. What shouldn't a thief steal? A life. It's too heavy of a burden on your soul to get away with, ever. That's something we can agree on. Well said, Kay. No matter what we may try, murder is the one crime that can never truly be hidden. And I intend to prove that by my own hands. When I apprehend the murderer myself. Alright, and I'm going to work extra hard to be a good assistant. Let's go! I still never said she could be my assistant. I'm just going to drop the issue. The first thing we should do is locate the real scene of the murder. Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe. Mr. Edgeworth, the stadium! Hurry, sir! This is supposed to be hush-hush, but they found a witness at the stadium. A witness? Yo, what did we tell you about leaving your assigned post? The jig is up. Mr. Edgeworth, remember that I'm always rooting for you, so go get him, sir. Dun, dun, dun. Those detectives sure look like they're enjoying themselves. It's not all fun and games, Kay. Now then, let's head to the stadium and meet with this witness. Dun, 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 dun. There's another one of those Badger Mobile, except it's a pink Badger Mobile. It even has a little pink bow. I thought there was a witness here. Yeah, I don't see anyone. Mr. Edgeworth! Emma Sky? Long time no see. You are Miss Emma Sky, correct? This girl is the younger sister of my former superior, Lana Sky. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor. Yeah, so I was reading a little bit about this game, that it was taking place in between Trials and Tribulations and Apollo Justice. So I take it this is taking place at some, well, yeah, when she's, well, not a teenager anymore maybe, but perhaps not yet employed by the police, because she doesn't look quite adult here, I suppose. 2 years ago, we stood in the same courtroom together as witness and prosecutor, but I thought she had gone to Europe to study forensics. I can't believe you remember me, Mr. Edgeworth. Of course I do. How have you been? You look to be in good spirits. Are you still studying abroad? You bet. More than anything, I want to investigate crime scenes scientifically. I've been studying non-stop every day to become a top-notch forensic scientist. But it's spring break now, so I thought I'd come back for a bit. I see. Okay. So she's studying at that time, at that point in time. Okay. Yes. Notice anything? You look deep in thought. Care to share, Kay? With all that's happened, I'm getting a little confused. For example, what that detective said earlier about how we must look for the witness at the stadium? No, not that, the I'm always rooting for you bit. I was thinking how sweet that is. It's like you two are best friends. I think you're a little confused, alright, Kay? Okay. I almost didn't recognize you. You've really grown in these past few years. Please don't tease me, Mr. Edgeworth. I know I still have a long way to go. But I'm going to be a super forensic scientist someday. You'll see. You seem to know Mr. Edgeworth really well. Are you two acquaintances? Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Emma Sky. Nice to meet you. I'm studying abroad now to be a forensic scientist. How about you? Wow, that's a great dream. My name's Kay Faraday, and I'm training to become an unstoppable great thief. A great thief? Don't think too hard on it, Emma. It's not worth the trouble. In any case, we have much to catch up on. You bet we do. So, why are you here, Emma? Well, I just happened to decide to come back home for spring break. And then I heard that you'd come back too, so I raced on over here. I had really wanted to welcome you back at the airport, but I just missed you. And how exactly did you know I was here? Through the power of science, naturally. Never underestimate what science can do for you. Oh, okay, I see. You can see the reflection of the text in our classes. I used these to track your footprints, and I followed them straight to you. This set is the greatest. It's so wonderfully scientific. You spray this chemical on the ground, and when you shine the special light on it, zing! The footprints light up like an electrified noble gas in a glass tube. It's almost like magic, scientifically speaking. Forensic science has never seemed more ominous to me than at this very moment. Are you the witness? Emma, I'd like to ask you about what you witnessed. Huh? What are you talking about? Are you not the witness Detective Gumshoe told us about? Well, I did get a call from Detective Gumshoe earlier. It was practically yelling at me. Mr. Edgeworth needs your scientific doohickeys right now, pal, he said. What was that man thinking? Or rather, not thinking. So let me guess, there's been a murder, right? Yes, unfortunately. There's a sudden glint in her eyes. But I need to keep my mind focused on the witness now. Where did that person go? What inside that thing? I was thinking. I assume this is another Badger mobile. Yeah, but it's a different color than the blue Badger's car. Yes, this is the retina searing pink model. What's that off in the distance? Is that the witness? Oh, hey, it's the pink Badger. Badger, get! She's gonna take a picture. Badger, 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 Badger. Just what does she see in these silly things? Tough love. I think this Badger has something to say to you, Mr. Edgeworth. Are you by chance the witness I've been searching for? Sorry, but I don't speak Badger dance. Is she going to be another character from a different game in the series? Like Meekins back there? Who are you? Oh! It's her! She's back! I can't take being inside that stuffy head anymore. You're... No! Why her? Why here? Why now? I first met this woman 3 years ago. She was a witness in one of my cases. She has since gone out of her way to pop up unexpectedly and cause me great grief. Edgy Poo! Why couldn't you understand what I was trying to tell you? I mean, really? I was trying so hard to keep the kids' dreams alive by staying in character. But you couldn't pick up on what I was trying to convey to you. I'm sick and tired of that roundabout way of talking, so I'm going to just be direct. I had a bad feeling before, but this just made it official. Today has gone beyond the typical not my day into the realm of waking nightmare. So you're a friend of Mr. Edgeworth too, Miss Pink Badger. You could say that, but right now I'm just a Pink Badger, dearie. She may look the part, but I know better than to trust my eyes around this woman. My name is Wendy Oldbag. But you can call me Wendy or Granny or whatever suits your fancy. Nice to meet you, Miss Old Bag. I'm Kay Faraday. What do I care about a young whippersnapper like you? Yeesh, I was just trying to be polite. Does she have handcuffs? Weren't you a security guard at one of the Gatewater hotels the last time we met? I go where I'm needed. Yeah, it was that one time when Maya Fey got abducted by, what was his name again? The Killer, I think. I don't remember his first name though. Shelly, I think. Shelly the Killer. I think that is. I'm very good at what I do, unlike the youth of today. I get called in all the time to fill in when there aren't enough hands. But enough about me, Edgy Poo. I'm thoroughly dejected right now. I finally get the chance to see you again, and here you are, talking with two young girls. Men are all the same. It doesn't matter. Blah 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 blah. I can't read that. It's just way too fast. You can say that again. You seem to attract all sorts of interesting people, Mr. Edgeworth. Kay, please, I'm begging you, by all means, do not provoke her any further. Aren't you forgetting about something, Mr. Edgeworth? This person could be the witness. Honestly, I hope she isn't, but I don't think fate is going to be so kind today. I saw what happened. I even saw the exact moment it happened. How's that? So it's true, she is the witness. I don't suppose I can afford to ignore the old bag. Yes, it was just a little while ago. I saw it happen right in front of me. The moment of the murder. You mean to say that you witnessed someone being killed right before your eyes? Sounds like a pretty important piece of testimony to me. Can I trust her? I'm not so sure. I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. I can't afford to ignore what she has to say. Unfortunately. What's that unfortunately you tacked on at the end supposed to mean, Edgy Poo? Well, anyway, let's see what we can find out from this little old lady. I came to the stadium to take a short break. Yeah. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. What did they look like? Yeah, can you describe them for me? They look like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that. But did they have any special features? Anything you can recall would be very helpful. Oh my, don't tell me you're jealous of those two men. Hey, she's right, you do seem pretty worked up over them, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm not worked up over anyone, and I'm not jealous. It's alright, Edgy Poo, those two were just foals compared to a stallion like you. I thought so little of them that I lost interest the instant I laid eyes on them. Suddenly, there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground. You're claiming to have seen the exact moment in which the murder took place? Absolutely, that gun made a terrible racket when it was fired. You didn't try to go have the person that got shot. I'm only one person, you smart alecky brat. What could I have done? But I took up as soon as I could to find someone who could help. 2 men, 1 bullet. It's all consistent with what we found out from the body. Sadly, there wasn't exactly a lot of new information to go on in your testimony. What if I saw the guy again? I'm sure I could identify him for you. I mean, how do you expect me to remember anything without something to jog my memory? Self-centered, aren't we? While it was somewhat useful, our testimony also presents us with a new problem. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? So about this new problem, what is it? What is that giant grin on your face for? Do you want me to show you something really nice? No, thank you. Don't be so mean. I swear it's something you're going to like. What is that gadget you're holding? What you see before you is the secret weapon of a great thief. Ah, I should have known it would be worthless. Oh, don't be like that. Ahem. What do you think now? What is it doing? It's projecting something into the air. I'm going to input the necessary information to run the simulation now. Once I'm done, I'll increase the size of the projection to its maximum size. Dark skies of evening, when no other bird dares take wing, one alone remains all-seeing. Now, witness the true power of a real modern-day Robin Hood. What is this? This is a recreation of the murder based on the info I inputted into Little Thief. Little Thief? I dare say I think you're taking the Robin Hood thing a bit too far. Little Thief is actually meant to be a simulator for me to plan my thefts. But I suppose if I use it like this... Let's see, Miss Oldback said that the two men were facing each other, and then a gunshot rang out and the victim fell to the ground. Ah, so with this we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past. If it really happened when the Oldback said it did, we could ask Emma Sky to use luminol to show us if it really happened there. Ah, so with this we can inspect the crime scene as it was in the past. See? So what do you think? I have to say, I'm impressed by the technology thieves have access to these days. Well, it is the super secret weapon of the mighty Yatagarasu. Indeed. Oh, but if there isn't enough information or if something is out of place, the recreation could come out a little strange. In other words, I can use this to authenticate the validity of a witness's testimony. You got it? You really catch up on quick, Mr. Edgeworth. Right now, the simulation is a recreation of that witness's testimony. So for now, I should re-examine everything. And if I find anything illogical or strange, I can then ask for clarification. Feel free to examine anything in this simulation in the way you always do. You can even present evidence when you find a contradiction. And if you find something, I've got Little Thief with me. So you just let me know, okay? It's the silhouette of the killer with his gun at the ready. Okay, is it not possible to recreate the face of the killer? Well, I can't exactly input what we don't know into Little Thief. She has a point. According to the testimony, the victim fell to the ground here. So there should be blood there. Right? But there isn't. That's right, but... But if that's the case, then we've already found our first contradiction. Huh? What? Where? If this is the real scene of the crime, there's something missing that should be here. Blood. An item? Well, the body, I suppose. If it's not that, then I don't know what else. This is a contradiction. Eh? Is something wrong with my recreation? If this is the real scene of the crime, something specific should be here. If you think back, how did we deduce that the other crime scene was not a real one? Oh, I get what's missing now. There's no blood on the ground here either, right? Yeah, I thought it was a bit weird to have to show that to point out that there wasn't any blood, but since they were asking me for a piece of evidence to display this, well, there was no other choice. Right, the fact that there is no blood here casts doubt on the witness's testimony. Edgy poo! How can you doubt me like that? Are you calling me a liar? I know what I saw, and I saw the victim get shot down. You know, I don't think she's lying, Mr. Edgeworth. To be honest, I can't think of a reason why she would lie to me. In that case, maybe there is another explanation for the distinct lack of blood. Can I ask her? This is amazing. Just feel the power of science. Okay, well... Do I have anything else? Victim was kidnapper. No blood around the victim's prone body. Um... Because he was in a costume? No, I don't suppose so. Is it not possible that the victim was wearing a costume? So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers? Well, but even so, I don't think that the costume would have soaked up every single drop of blood to the last, and that there would not be any traces of blood on the ground if that was the case. But so that's why I was hesitating a little bit when putting this together. So you really think that Mr. Deacon was one of the kidnappers? I think we can reasonably assume there is a very good chance that he was. And that if he was shot while he was inside one of those stolen costumes, then Mr. Deacon's blood would be inside the costume instead of on the ground. Precisely. Now, if only we could prove that the victim was wearing a costume. You'd think it'd be pretty easy if we could find some footprints. But the problem is finding them, since there doesn't seem to be any around. Footprints, huh? I wonder how we can go about finding some of those. That girl, she said that she had some stuff for seeing footprints. Yeah, there we go. Since she followed Edgeworth to that location that way. Emma, about that method you were talking about for finding footprints. Ah, finally, my expert knowledge in forensics is needed. Yes, well, can you detect and trace even partial footprints? Leave it to me, my cutting-edge detection kit can find anything. Very well, if you could please analyze the footprints in this area. Okay, stand back now and witness the power of science at work. Hey, I found something! Look, right there! I don't see anything. Oh, that's right. Here, put these special glasses on, Mr. Edgeworth. These footprints here were definitely left by a badger costume. Judging by the way the prints are layered, those seem to be the newest. Then we can conclude that the victim was definitely wearing a costume at the time. Victim's costume data jotted down on my organizer. Okay, in that case, I'll update Little Thief's simulation parameters. I can't wait to see what we find out from this new info. So the victim was wearing a costume when he died. And with that, we should be one step closer to the truth, right? I see the recreation has changed in accordance with the new information. We may be closer, but now something else has caught my attention. What do you want? Your testimony, naturally. I'd like to hear it one more time, if you please. I came to the stadium to take a short break. As I was resting, I happened to glance over and I saw two men facing each other in that area. Suddenly there was a loud gunshot and the person who was shot fell to the ground. It was a very terrifying experience, let me tell you. Why doesn't she mention the costume? I mean, it's something that she should have noticed straight away. So does this mean that Miss Oldbag's testimony has a contradiction in it? Yes, and I believe our best course of action is to compare it with your recreation. See, I just knew Little Thief would be of help. Now let's see if we can pull more info from Miss Oldbag to put into the recreation. For that, we must first find a contradiction in her testimony. Why doesn't she mention it? Also, if the victim was wearing a costume, how did she know that it was a man inside and not a woman?
Hold it!
You saw two men. Can you describe them for me? They looked like your average Joes, completely uninteresting and not worth fawning over. I've got you. I'm telling you, they were so boring that I don't even remember much beyond that. But did they have any special features? Anything you can recall would be very helpful. Oh my, don't tell me you're jealous of those two men. Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. Objection! 2 men. How did you know the gender of the 2 people involved, seeing as how the victim was wearing a costume at the time? Ah! Furthermore, I have another matter I'd like to inquire about. I'd very much like to know why you failed to mention the costume in your testimony. Ah! I'm beginning to doubt if you really witnessed the murder at all. But I'm telling you, I really did see it. I saw it with my very own eyes. From a seat in the second tier? Second tier? Hey, didn't you say you saw it right in front of you earlier? That was, you know, I was using the phrase in the metaphorical sense. Ah, I see our witness still has a screw loose in the metaphorical sense. The cushy seats in the second tier are reserved for hotshot VIPs, which is exactly why I go there now and again to take a nap. I can't see how you could have gotten a good look from there, it's so high up. Were you able to see even the victim's costume from way up there? Well, I know I saw 2 people, but I couldn't really see what they looked like because they were in the stage's shadow. It was hard to make out the killer and victim that Oldback saw in the stage's shadow. My eyesight isn't what it used to be, you know? Not like when I was young. People, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, and I can't read. She's getting on my nerves, so she does that. Okay, let's return to our investigation, shall we, Kay? You got it. Begin investigation. This new silhouette of the victim is in a costume. The silhouettes can change depending on the information I input, but Little Thief can recreate more than just people. So investigate away, we may even find more info with which to make a more accurate sim. Alright, sounds like a plan. The stage's shadow? Looks like they broke the stage down. I guess this means they're done for today. Or maybe it's because a different show is scheduled to start its run tomorrow. Looks like they broke... No, okay, that's the same thing. It's the silhouette of the killer with his gun at the ready. Okay, is it not possible to recreate the face of the killer? Nah, they already said that. Maybe she has something to say? Recreation. So you believe that this gadget will provide us with the proof we need? Yeah, of course, pretty neat, huh? By inputting info like this, it can recreate the crime scene exactly as it was. Although Little Thief was originally intended to be a training sim for heists. A training sim for thievery? I don't believe I can turn a deaf ear to that, Kay. But it's for practice. Practice! It's not like I've actually stolen anything yet. Besides, we're in the middle of an investigation, so stop nitpicking. Even if it is just practice, I can't exactly endorse the act of stealing. Although, admittedly, this device is rather useful in an investigation. So how am I supposed to use this to aid my investigation? Oh, that's right, I guess I should explain how to use it, huh? Objects outlined in yellow are things that are not present at our time but were in the past. Things outlined in a dotted line are things that exist now but didn't in the past. I see. You can examine and interact with replicated people and objects as you normally do. You can even present evidence whenever you find an inconsistency. Oh, and be sure to point out mistakes in the recreation with evidence too. Very well, let's continue with the investigation. If there's something you don't get about Little Thief, feel free to ask anytime, okay? Do I have elements of logic? Maybe I can put these things together. They both have something to do with the stage, so... There we go. If that woman's testimony is to be believed, the murder occurred before the stage was broken down. Do you want me to input that bit of info into Little Thief? Yes, if you please. Okay. How is that possible? He would have been on stage, I suppose. Also, there's something that bothers me. the entry point of the wound is in the abdomen, and the exit point is in the shoulder. That's not possible if he was standing on the stage. There is clearly a contradiction here. Please stop stealing my lights. Oh, come on, it wasn't that hard to see it coming, even for a layman like me. I suppose. In any case, it's not possible for the killer to have stood here in that way, because there was a very real stage set up in this spot at that time. Yeesh, I told you I got it. Do you feel the need to explain everything? Yes, well, in any case, we still need to resolve this unusual situation. Isn't it obvious? The killer was on top of the stage, naturally. Right, Miss Oldbag? Yes, I remember now. The killer was standing on top of the stage. This presents a problem. See, now let me update the info in the simulation. Unless Edgeworth had it wrong between the entry point and the exit point of the bullet. Well, well, what have we here? A bunch of hooligans running amok, I see. Agent Lang, how nice of you to join us. Well, I can't have you going around messing up my crime scenes. Agent Lang, we've discovered that the real scene of the murder is here, the stadium. I see. Thanks. For what? I'm just trying to show you my appreciation for all the time you saved me. Who knew that such a strange little toy could recreate a crime scene like that? Little Thief is not a toy. You too. Sir, they're gonna confiscate it? Ah, no, okay, never mind. Troop Grammary? Hey, there was a reference to another game back there. To Apollo Justice. And there you have it. You see, big boys like me don't need silly toys, little girl. Now this is a recreation. So what? Do you still intend to assert that Officer Meekins is the killer? Of course. Even knowing that the crime took place here doesn't let him off the hook. Agent Lang's logic. This is the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage. And when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. That's the truth your little recreation showed. How far will you go to accuse Officer Meekins of the crime? He's the most likely suspect we've got, especially given the situation with this gun. Well, even if he is the killer, at least my recreation was on the mark. You see? Thank you for understanding, my little crow girl. Grr, I'm not some common crow. I'm the Yatakarasu, the Raven of Legend. You should keep that under wraps for the time being. I don't think it's good for you to go on telling that to people, especially Interpol agents. Unfortunately, your conclusion is yet to be tested, so let's see how well it holds up. Here's the real scene of the crime. Officer Meekins lay in wait for the victim on top of the stage, and when the victim finally showed, he shot him from on high. Well, this is where I fail to agree because of the fact that the entry point is in the abdomen and the exit point is in the shoulder, so... yeah. How could it do that unless it ricocheted off the ground or something like that? I'm terribly sorry, Agent Lang. I should have warned you that our recreation is incomplete. You cut in quite unexpectedly, after all. What's that supposed to mean? You said that the victim was shot by the killer from up above, correct? I hate to break it to you, but that's not possible. Huh? Why not? Well, actually, even from right in front of him, if he was standing on the same level as he did, how could a bullet to the abdomen come out of the shoulder? Even if they were standing face to face, it should come out the back, not the shoulder. This is, I really don't know what to think of this, really. Recall Mr. Deacon's body, specifically where the gunshot wounds were located. Actually, I didn't get that good of a look. Oh, well then. The bullet entered Mr. Deacon in his abdominal region and exited his right shoulder. This is more consistent with an angled shot from beneath the victim. Yeah, if anything, it would make more sense for the victim to be on the stage and the killer to be off the stage. That would make more sense that way. Yes, our recreation had the victim being shot at an angle from above. A clear contradiction! You're discounting your own conclusions? No, this one point is the only flaw. This was the mistaken parameter in our recreation. The killer and victim's locations. It's the only way that it can work, the way I see it anyway. The locations of the killer and the victim were wrong. Ah, I get it. I see what you're trying to say. I believe the killer and the victim were standing opposite to what we initially thought. That still doesn't put Mr. Meekins off the hook, though. It was the victim who was on top of the stage, as he was being shot by the killer. From the moment we saw the victim's body, the angle of the shot seemed weird. If this is what happened, it'd also explain the positioning of the gunshot wounds. But then what about the footprints? Since footprints don't lie, we can assume then that the killer also wore a costume. Okay, I'll try using that data instead. Yeah, if anything, since Meekins is wearing a costume too, this is not good for him. Judging by the fact that both the killer and the victim were wearing costumes, I'd say it was a killing between the two kidnappers. That would be the most natural conclusion. Wouldn't you agree, Agent Lang? That still doesn't prove Meekins' innocence. Well done, Mr. Prosecutor. But that alone doesn't clear Officer Meekins of the crime. Another bit of proof. I ask that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of the blue Badger mobile. That story Officer Meekins told about that shop on wheels getting stolen was just a lie. He drove the blue Badger mobile here and committed the murder. Then he used the car to move the body to the garage in the Wild Wild West area. You believe he moved the body with the car? That's right. It was Officer Meekins himself who pointed us to the way he did it. The 3 tire tread marks are very telling. However, is the blue Badger mobile the only thing capable of creating such a pattern? Well, the pink one could have done it too. I ask that you take another good look at the tire marks over there. The 3 marks are indicative of the blue Badger mobile.
Do I have the pink one?
I'm not so sure about this. Should I press on it? Get more info. 3 tire marks. I have to agree that the blue Badger mobile has 3 tires. Of course, the only thing in this park that could make those marks is that roving shop. Are you forgetting that there are in fact 3 of them? You can't simply ignore the pink and the Proto Badger mobiles, Agent Lang. Of course, I didn't say it couldn't be either of the other 2, but I see no reason to drag them into this just to complicate things. I'm not so sure about this. Well, I don't know. It was in the garage, so... sorry, Agent Lang, but that's an impossible tale. And why is that? Those tire marks could not have been left by Officer Meekins' Blue Badger mobile. One look at the car would have told you so. What proves that the Blue Badger mobile had never been to the stadium? The tire marks? Because they are specific? It was raining, isn't it? There's no mud on them.
Take that!
Take a good look at the tires. There's not a single dollop of mud to be found on it. Yeah, there we go. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just remembered that he did mention something about mud earlier. Because they discounted the marks being made by that one, those in front of the garage, because of that. If this car had come to the backstage area and left those tire tracks, then the lack of mud on these tires stands out as very peculiar indeed. If anything, it proves that this Badger mobile was not out while it was raining. Then how do you explain the tire tracks, genius? Hey, I've got it. What about Miss Oldback's pink Badger mobile? Don't be ridiculous. I was sleeping the entire time in the second tier seats. Indeed, I believe we can rule her out as someone related to the crime. However, there is yet one more roving store, as I recall. Oh, you mean the Proto Badger? That's right, there was one more parking space inside that garage, and it proves the existence of a Proto Badger mobile. Agent Lang, I suggest that you find this Proto Badger mobile post-haste. There must still be some sort of incriminating evidence in it. Like blood? Or maybe the costume that was discarded. Right? Hey, did you hear something? Help? Isn't that the kidnapped kid? Help me. It was just released? Well, I guess the kidnappers did get their money after all. Are you alright? Well, this is something. It looks like we found our kidnapping victim. Where were you all this time? Wild Wests with kidnappers. He was in the room next to the one I was held in. Ran away using underground and got lost. The kidnappers. What is it? I can't understand what you're trying to say. The kidnappers escaped wearing costumes. Did you see the faces of your kidnappers? No, I didn't see their faces, but two. One was a woman. A woman? Quite an important piece of testimony. Hey, what are you guys doing? Stop standing there and get your cups on this already. I'll even let you guys have what the kid just says. What the kid said just now. Consider it a gift. Is it possible that it was them two? A woman and a man. Those two. They're right there, so... Now, are you going to get out of my crime scene, or am I going to have to get rough? Again? You're nothing but a big bully. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, let's go. Oh, no. Not you. You're a very important witness for my case. I'm not about to let you get away that easily. Don't count on me to testify, because I won't. Not for you. That's right. I won't either. You hear me, you young whippersnapper? Hey, calm down. There's no need for all this hostility. I just want to take a statement from each of you. I'm not going to rough either of you up. I give you my word. Come now, fair maidens. What do you say? Will you cooperate? Fair maidens? My, you little rascal. You sure know the way into a woman's heart. Lanksy says, the passage of time is but a fleeting moment and the lady is young forever. Trying to outdo my AG Poo with your fancy schmancy sayings. Let's get this over with. So we're clear, I'm only interested in giving you my statement. Sure, just as soon as Mr. Prosecutor leaves us be. Mr. Edgeworth. Emma? That's Emma who said that? Save. Okay. Looks like we got the boot again. With Lance safe, the focus of the investigation will shift solely onto the murder. You mean the infighting between the kidnappers? Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper. Miles, my boy. Tell me it's true. Tell me that you've really found my boy. Yes, Mr. Amano, we found him earlier in the stadium. Then my little Lance is unhurt. He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by Agent Lang. Poor Lance. It must have been so horrible for him. Locked up like a... Or was he kidnapped by those two? I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore. I think I should talk to the both of them. He loves me not. He loves me not. Oh, that's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try. Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you've gone through. I suppose, if they were me, then... okay. I believe you said that you are Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct? Yes, I am, but oh, it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're not just friends either. I mean, because this isn't just any ordinary ring. It tastes so sweet when you lick it. Ah, it's so wonderful. You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring? So which is it? Have you guys not decided if you're going out, or is it just one-sided? Decided. Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know? My father used to work for Mr. Amano, and so Lance and I grew up together. I said it out loud. I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. So your father was an employee of the Amano group. What did he do? I heard his job was to fly around the world on Pegasus. Pegasus? Oh, Pegasus was the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had me there for a second. But now, it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, I see. About 10 years ago, we rode in Pegasus off to somewhere and never returned. Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff legends are made of. It's been so long. I don't think I'd recognize him if we were to ever meet again. I was thinking maybe the victim is her father or something. Amano family butler. And Lance's private tutor was found dead. Yeah, maybe too obvious, I don't know. Oh, she's 18 in this one. I think she was 16 in the extra case that was added to the DS version of the first game. High schooler studying in Europe to become forensic scientist on school break. I mean, it's plausible. He would have been 31 when she was born. But anyway, we'll see. I'm so sorry, Lauren. But I won't give in to the sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live. About this incident. Incident? But isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident. How did you come to know that Lance had been kidnapped? Oh, that's because of my woman's intuition. You based everything on that? I know everything when it comes to my Lance. It's really strange. It really must be destiny. Ah, she started fantasizing again. Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough. It was nothing. I'm still in shock over what happened to Oliver. But I have to say I'm relieved that Lance is alright. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this on to Lance as soon as the police are finished with him. A letter? What's that letter about? Ah, the way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. I almost can't believe you received yet another love letter, you know? Here, take a look for yourself. Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? My dear Lanzamano, may I come see you again, your beloved? Viola? Tenderlander Loan Company? Viola. Isn't that the creepy girl from that Phoenix Wright game? She was the daughter of a Yakuza type, I think, or something like that. Isn't that the same character? I think it might be. Oh, hey, let me see. That's really weird. It's from a loan company, Tenderlander. Looks more like a collection bill to me. Love letter data jotted down in my organizer. Well, I guess if it's her, we're gonna see her soon. So what are you going to do now, Miss Edgeworth? We already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location that might hold a clue or two. The obvious location is the kidnapper's hideout, but we're still not allowed in, remember? Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. In that case, there is no harm in asking that officer over there to let us in. What do you have to report? Sir, nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir. Where have I heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to let us take a look around inside? Sir, roger, sir. That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lang order you not to allow me in? Sir, that's true, sir, but Detective Gumshoe asked me personally to let you in, sir. And I couldn't refuse a request from him. Wow, looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following. Furthermore, I was asked to give you this document to you, sir. What is this? Okay, the fact that they flat out say that he was right-handed is probably relevant. I mean, why put that in a file? Who cares? The fact that it's in there at all, I think, is gonna be relevant later. Penny Dent prison. Whereabouts unknown after his escape from Penny Dent prison. Stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might head for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. Name here says Colin Devoray. That's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Devoray was his real name. What's this? He was convicted in a case 10 years ago and sent to prison. What? Then what was he doing here? Apparently he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon to cover up the fact that he was an escaped felon. No, I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and this current case? These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to give them a thorough read eventually. It's fine. Let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout. Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first, think later. More than thinking things through, I think we should try remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer. It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then the door's been wide open, sir. I'm not sure I follow what it is, but you're saying. Care to explain it in a bit more detail? Sir, the door was locked down tight when they went to check out the room. So they got about 10 officers to help out and break the door down, sir. I see. I guess that means I get Agent Lang's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find. Kidnapper's hideout. So this is where the kidnappers planned their foul deed. While you were tied up for a while in the room next door, hee. Okay, please, must you bring that up again? Now then, down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can of the other kidnapper's identity. What have we here? Looks like a sword, a broken sword. Strange. Why would it be broken like that? Found lying next to the door, broken cleanly in half. Swords don't usually break on their own. That's true. Alright, then let's think about it in this way. Maybe it broke when someone was trying to use it for or on something. To open the door? Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later. Hey, there's a trapdoor in this room too. It's not a trapdoor. It's an entrance to an underground passage, Kay. I know that. The door leading to the outside world was locked. So Lance must have escaped this prison through here. Unused folding chairs lean against the wall in their folded state. Wow, whoever lined these up did it perfectly. They're not even a single hair off. I'd feel bad using these because it'd be like stealing the perfection away. I suspect it's more like you wouldn't want to be the one to put them away. Watch out, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a broken mirror. It probably came from the haunted house. Why is this here? Are they planning to repair it? A sign advertising the photo rally. Something I have absolutely no interest in. Yeah, but I do, and I'm going to get my hands on the rest of the Badger family. You'll see. She definitely brings a decidedly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation. You might start to feel like Phoenix Wright with Maya. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Okay. There's a key there. I wonder what this key is to. You got me. It reminds me of the key we found in the other room. That's it. This must be the key for one of those trapdoors. That wasn't a trapdoor. You only call it one because you quite literally jumped into it. Hey, but isn't that what you're supposed to do when you see one? I'm not having this conversation with you. A poster of Gatewaterland is stuck on this wall. Intrigue, fun, prestige. Gatewaterland has it all, and it's waiting for you. It's not especially catchy, is it? There's nothing unusual about this area. What I find unusual is that 3 cups seem to have been used. 2 from the kidnappers, and Lance was in on it. He was casually drinking coffee with them. Cheap styrofoam cups. Looks like only 3 cups were used. Is it possible that he kidnapped himself, or that he asked some people to kidnap him so that they would split the money between themselves because his daddy wouldn't give him money that he needed for something? And 3 chairs, folding chairs, and by the looks of it, they were probably used by the kidnappers. There are 3 chairs set around the table. I think I have to put that together with the 3 cups. More than likely. The common denominator between the cups and folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes is also 3. Oh yeah, he makes a good point. Wait, but I thought there were only 2 kidnappers. Indeed, something isn't adding up, literally. Is it possible there is a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see, or that Lance was the 3rd? There's nothing unusual about this area. This must be where they dispose of old and worn out costumes. That's so sad. It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces. In the hideout, there is a trash bin for old and useless costumes. Beyond this door is where the kidnappers held you after getting the jump on you. Must you keep reminding me? But it's the room where I got to see your awesome no face. You didn't need to remind me of that mortifying moment either. The door itself. This door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. Oops. Oh, they have barrels like these just outside. Yes, and? Well, I know I already asked you when we were out there, but if these were real, what would you put in them? There's an expectant gleam in their eyes that I'm about to dash. That doorknob handled thingy is looking pretty beat up. I suppose that's what happens when 10 officers break their way in with brute force. Hey, that's odd. The lock on this is completely fine. Look, not a single dent. But how is that possible after what that officer told us? Yeah, if the lock had been in use when the door was busted down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked. So the lock on the door leading to the outside isn't damaged. How can that be? It had already been unlocked using the sword, maybe? Well, I figured these things had to go together. It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine door lock and anyone can see that it was not in use at the time. But the policeman outside said that it took 10 men to get it open. Because the sword was jammed in it? No, the door was held locked from the inside with the sword, and it broke when they broke down the door, when they tried to force it open. It can only be because of this. Oh, you mean? Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. You see how the handle is completely destroyed? So that's how the sword broke. Broken prop sword data jotted down in my organizer. Well, yeah, why would kidnappers that are not part of the park, why would they have the key to that door anyway? But then, the guy that Lance that pretended to have escaped through the underground passage or something, all he would have had to do was remove the sword that was keeping the door locked from the inside. Yeah, that guy is fishy. I don't know. Just the fact that he came out of hiding on his own and said like, "Oh, I managed to escape." Well, I have a hard time believing that. I thought that we might uncover the true identity of the kidnappers, but instead we've only uncovered more questions that need to be answered. Ah! What is it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, am I correct? What are you doing suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that? This is an underground passage used by staff members, sir. Proto-Badger? We Badgers also make use of it in our duties. Look, why don't you get out of there first and then we'll talk, okay? Ah, I beg your pardon, miss. Proto-Badger, get! Yeah, I knew it. Alright, only one more to go. She has the pink one, she has the regular Badger. Yet the bad Badger is the one that she doesn't have yet. What are you getting all excited about? Did you forget? The photo rally, duh. See, look, now all I have to do is get a picture of the bad Badger and I'm done. Ah yes, I vaguely recall a contest or something of that sort. What? It's gone. Where did it go? What happened? What's wrong? A bad Badger costume is missing, sir. Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnappers stole it. I heard about how they were stolen, but they said that only 3 of the costumes had been taken. What? Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto-Badger, please tell me a little more about these costumes you use. What did you mean by a bad Badger costume is missing? Why, just what I said, sir. We are 1 Badger short. Counting the spares, we have 2 of each costume on hand at all time. Okay, so because one of them is walking around in the park, the other should be in that room. And actually, both of them should be in that room. Huh? What do you mean? Normally, we don't use the Bad Badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at a set time each day. It's the stage show where the Bad Badger wreaks havoc around the park, and the other Badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir. I'm speechless that such a show exists. Well, sir, I was just trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume. Then doesn't that make it near impossible to take a picture of the Bad Badger? Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I to do, sir? All this basically means is that the kidnappers stole 4 costumes in total. Okay, so then, yeah, there might have been 3 kidnappers plus Lance. Are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers? No, I don't think that's very likely. Oh? Recall the costumes for a minute. Stolen ones, you mean? The fact that there is still one there? Ah, shoot, no. Ah! I made a mistake. Look where, do you know what he's trying to say, Mr. Proto Badger? No. But instead of pressing the present button, I pressed right next to it. Here. If you had 4 people and you had wanted to steal a 4th costume, wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal the Pink Badger costume instead? Yeah, that makes sense. And yet the kidnappers decided to steal another Bad Badger. I believe the culprits needed 2 Bad Badger costumes, but the question is why? Maybe because the Bad Badger costume that the victim was in was all stained in blood? Is that possible? Can I talk to him? I was wondering if you don't mind. Mr. Proto Badger, how did you know my name? You're pretty famous, sir. I would think that most people would know who you are. Famous, me? Absolutely, sir. You're always very active in the community, I hear. Wow, I didn't know you were such a celebrity, Mr. Edgeworth. I feel like I've met this person before. Maybe it's just my imagination. Let me guess. Is it gonna be Larry Butts? I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, hold on. I probably have to put things together using logic. The second Bad Badger costume, I believe it may be closer at hand than we think. What do you mean? The discarded one. That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that it's wearing some very telltale pants? Hey, you're right. Let's get it out of there and take a look. As I suspected, it's a Bad Badger costume. Well, minus the head. Well, the head was in the next room before. I don't know if it's still there now, but I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Okay, well. I wonder why this Bad Badger costume right hand is torn up like that. Maybe it's a flesh wound from a fight with the Blue Badger. I always knew the Blue Badger was one ferocious beast. I somehow doubt that even real badgers are as bloodthirsty as that, Kay. Oh, you have to use the juice? Hold on. The head. I had that in mind. Yeah, probably not. Well, the game... It is. I'm not wrong in what I just said, but... It's just that the game does not expect me to show that now, I suppose. My apologies. Yeah, okay, there is definitely something off about this costume. If only I could envision the truth in my head, I'd be one step closer to it. The hole in the hand. Maybe. Was likely wearing one due to foot footprint's shape and the lack of blood. Or should I deduce simply from pointing at the middle of the costume? I'm gonna try, but I'm gonna save before that. So I can easily go back to it should the need arise. Okay, that wasn't it. I was wondering if you don't mind, blah blah blah. No, okay. Look, its hand is hurt. Well, it's indeed the case that I hadn't looked at it. Looks more like something was ripped off of it. Something was ripped off of it? The shoes? No! Well, I wonder. I'm not sure. Ripped off of it? I'm not sure. Ah, this is really annoying. Hold on. Organizer. Well, he's usually holding a gun. But a fake one, I would wager. And then, if this time he was using a real one, maybe that's what caused an issue with... Oh, I don't know. I'm really grasping now. I believe what we have here is an inconsistency. Between what? Look carefully, our costume is not holding something in its right hand that it should be. Oh, the gun! Precisely, the Bat Badger was designed to always hold a gun in his right hand. However... You there, did you remove the gun from this Bat Badger's right hand? No, I did not, sir. The gun is supposed to be securely attached to the costume. As I thought, the rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Proto-Badger, the gun is of course not a functioning weapon, correct? Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can't fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show. It seems that our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun, my dear costumed friend. Missing model gun? I think we're about done in this room. So what's next? Well, we found a few answers. But there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person about. Let's go, Kay. March 13th, 3:34 p.m. Wild Wild West area. Miss Edgeworth, sir. What is it? You've got to hurry, sir. Come on. What is it, detective? They found the Blue Badger costume down in front of the main gate, sir. What? Isn't that what one of the kidnappers was wearing? Bingo! That's why you've got to come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before Wolfboy does, sir. Alright, let's make haste to the main gate. Gitwaterland's main gate. Oh yeah, we've been here before. Where's the costume, Detective Gumshoe? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. So it's a regular Blue Badger, that one? Was it out here in the open all along? No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. Then let's get down to it. I won't rest until I've inspected... Oh yeah, please stop saying that. What do we have here? Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this pretty baby is made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. It's a pair of wings that would go well with that horse to make a Pegasus, don't you think? The plot thickens. Is it possible that these two... Hold it right there! Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren D? Lauren, it's a name that's engraved on this. Miss Pope's pendant data jotted down in my organizer. Aha! We have you now, Miss Kidnapper! No, you don't understand. Lolly, I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers. Lance! You're kidding! Miss Pops was one of the kidnappers? Yes. It was me. I held Lance hostage. So Miss Pops is one of the kidnappers. But even knowing that, I can't call this case solved and over. Or over. Hey guys, case closed. Get the car ready, and I mean the special one for this young lady.
Hold it!
Heh, again, Mr. Prosecutor, what is it this time? Are you proposing that Miss Pops is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a thick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look at how careless they are. What are you calling a sham? The officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. So Officer Meekins has been cleared of all charges, I see. And that's when a brand new suspect comes walking onto the scene. The murder only happens because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? Miss Pops, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes, I killed him. I can't believe it. Thanks for the confession. Agent Lang, it's much too early to declare this case closed. Look at you, so sure of yourself. We've got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Miss Lauren Pops. Yes? I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that has happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder. But why? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Isn't that enough? Hey, don't cut off your hair. It's fine if you're the one behind everything, but only if that is the truth. Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason why you can't? I've had a change of heart. I think I'd enjoy seeing you sulk away as the losing mutt. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear about all the evil deeds you committed today. one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Romano would pay anything to get his son back, after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. Somehow, I doubt that. There, are you satisfied? She just confessed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least respect that much. Miss Pops, is what you said really the truth? Yes, it is. If that is the truth, it certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. The one who came up with the kidnapping plan was the butler, Mr. Deacon. We knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Mr. Romano would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. Yeah, that's what seems improbable, because I think it's his father. It's her father. Why do you think he did? I have no idea, but maybe he had planned on doing so from the very beginning. Miss Pops. Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning? Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? I'm sorry, but I don't think what you just claimed is all that likely. Huh? I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing you. Yeah, we're getting to what I thought. But why? We were total strangers. It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money.
Hold it!
Miss Pops, you really are clueless, aren't you? What do you mean? You never knew what your role in the kidnapping was, nor do you know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deacon wouldn't have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pops. Which is it gonna be? This one?
Take that!
Why are you showing this to me? So what about the pendant? It goes with the one that she had. This horse pendant, along with this piece of evidence, shows who you really are.
Take that!
These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree? Hey, you're right. They're the same color and they're even made of the same material. I believe that these two pendants are actually one. Eh? Shall we give it a try? Wow, it's totally Pegasus. But why? Why does my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon's? You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be. Well, no, that can't be. So the two make a set. Heh, it's just another trinket. It's not as though it changes anything. You lack imagination, Agent Lang. Very well, I'll show you with this evidence. This is the piece of evidence that gives meaning to the Pegasus pendant. Is a profile thingy? Is dossier? Yeah, other than that one, I don't see what else it could be.
Take that!
Oliver Deacon was just an alias for this man. His real name was Colin Deveray, the name that is etched onto the horse pendant. What? An alias? I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live, and it makes sense given what is written in Mr. Deveray's dossier. But what I really wanted to point out was this. The specific section is what revealed the true meaning behind those pendants. Wife and sole daughter?
Take that!
Mr. Devereux had one daughter, and her name is Lauren Pops. That's a lie, that person was not my father. He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that could kill the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in the kidnapping plot? And what is so funny, Agent Lang? You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's the truth, aren't you? What are you trying to say? Your thinking is much too innocent. After all, I've thought of another possibility. Is that so? Well, let's hear it. Right, let's get through this. And when this little section is over, I think I'll have to end the stream here for today. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter, but isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the house of Amano, and the two of them made good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well? So this is his version of how things might have been. You don't have any proof that either one didn't know of their true relationship, right? You mean they knowingly committed the kidnapping as father and daughter? That's right. As one really rotten family. Is that really what happened? I had better take a long, hard look at the evidence. I'll grant you that the two of them are father and daughter, but isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the...
Hold it!
You mean how they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives? Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever pair. The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were in fact family. Yes, from the very beginning they painstakingly practiced those roles well. Well, the fact that he says two when we already know that there was another person. I'm not so sure where to go with this one. Thanks, Panda. Yeah, there were 3 costumes stolen. There are 3 costumes missing. Yeah, that's the one that I was looking for. This kidnapping wasn't planned by just 2 people alone. And what kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were 3 kidnappers. 3? 4 costumes were stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout, but as for the other 3, we can assume they were being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group. And I believe this 3rd person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Who? Who is this mastermind? I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. Oh, I have to point it out now? Well, I think it was him. Oh, you know what? It's already late. I should interrupt the stream here. That's gonna make a good cliffhanger for tomorrow. Because actually, I'm not entirely sure. And, well, we'll see. We'll see tomorrow who it turns out to be. But I think it makes sense. It makes sense that it's him. I mean, the way he escaped and everything, it's pretty suspect. So I will answer that, but we will see if I was right tomorrow. Yeah, I guess if I had to make a cliffhanger, well, I guess this is the right moment. Thanks for watching. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care of yourselves, guys. See ya.